Hi guys, this is PackRat556 here, and the video I'm making today is really geared towards those of you who have not spent much time thinking about how in a survival situation you can easily create fire. We know that in any survival situation, one of your top priorities will be to create fire for warmth, for comfort, for cooking, for purifying water, for many different purposes. So again, one of the top things that we need to put in a survival type kit or in our camping gear, if you're into camping, hiking, that type of thing, one of the most important things for us to have on us is simple, tried and true methods that we can create fire with. So what I've done is taken some of the easiest to use simple methods and put together in a waterproof sack, which I can carry easily in any type of kit that I'm carrying. It's lightweight for the most part, and again, it's waterproof. Now, a lot of fire starting gear doesn't have to be waterproof, such as a fire steel or a magnesium block. Those things can be wet and still will function, but there are some items like matches or a big lighter, which you don't want to get wet, because if you do, then they're not going to be functional anymore. So the waterproof bag just keeps everything together in one place. I'm sure that there's going to be somebody that's going to say you don't want to keep everything in one place. I always keep a fire steel on my person, and I keep this in my pack. So if I do lose my pack for some reason, I still have a backup method, and I would recommend that to you. But just to get everything organized, I've got it in this waterproof sack. Now, I'm going to go through the methods one by one. And you've noticed the name of this video is Fire Starting 101. So I'm going to try to keep this really simple. And again, this video is geared towards those who have little experience in starting fire. The first simple to use item, which we all know how to use, is a big lighter. Big lighter works great. If I can use this all the time, that's what I'll use. Why make things complicated? This is a simple, tried and true method. Now, if this gets wet, it's not going to work for a while. If this gets damaged in some way, then it's not going to be functional anymore. So this is a great method, but I wouldn't depend on it 100%. All right. Next item, in no particular order, is one of the most dependable things that you can have, and that is a fire steel. Because even if it gets wet, it'll work. And it's probably impossible, or just about impossible, to damage this to the point that you can't make a spark off of it. So I do like fire steels. There's a lot of different types of fire steels on the market. The main thing is to find one that you feel comfortable and confident in using, and practice with it. That's another key thing. Don't just buy this and put it in your pocket. Practice with it so you know how to use it, so you know how to get a good spark off of it. And also practice using different types of tinder so you know that you can get a fire even in wet conditions. That's important. All right, next item. Again, these are in no particular order. Have some different types of tinder in here, which I'll talk about. We all know how to use matches, so it's great to have Strike Anywhere matches. These are Strike on the Box matches. They're cheap, and why not? I can just throw them in my kit. As long as they stay waterproof, then they will work for me. Another thing that I like to use too, and these work really well, military a lot of times will carry these, is a magnesium and a flint striker. And basically what you would do is take a knife and shave off the back of this to create like some magnesium shavings. And then you use your knife to scrape down the striker, and that actually ignites those. These things burn really hot. This shavings burn real hot and will definitely get you a good fire going. And this will work even when wet. So magnesium block, they're pretty cheap, you know, under $10 you can get that, and it's easy to carry with you, lightweight. I like in MREs, a lot of times you can get these military grade matches. They're made to work in damp conditions. If they're wet, they won't work, but they're a little bit better than commercial matches. One thing I keep in my fire kit always is a candle. If I can light this candle, then I can use it to light other types of tinder, kindling, that type of thing. So this is a good item to help you get a fire going in difficult conditions. A candle lasts a lot longer than a match. Or a candle will save, by lighting the candle, you can save the fluid for your lighter. So I keep a candle in my kit. Let's see. I always keep different different packs of matches available. I've showed you the military, the strike anywhere, and these are strike anywhere too. And I've just put them in a peel bag, which ensures that they stay waterproof. You can slip these in a shirt pocket, pants pocket, whatever, and have these on you. And again, they're waterproof in this peel bag. Make sure you put a striker in with your matches. One of the primitive forms of fire starting, which you have to practice and you have to be skilled in, is by using a magnifying glass. I have this in here, and yes, I have practiced that method, and yes, it is difficult a little bit, but it does work. There are certain times of day when the sun is high, like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, where you get the best results, but conditions have to be right to make it work. But in case I'm in the dark, if I pull out my fire kit, this actually has an LED on it, so I can see what I'm doing, so I can use this as a backup light source as well. This pic came from a Walgreens drugstore. Anyhow, let's see. Let's talk about tinder a little bit. One of the tried and true tinders, which you've probably heard a lot about, is cotton balls. I've just put these in a peel bag to make sure they stay dry. It's important that your tinder's dry. If not, it's not going to work. Another thing with cotton balls is if you soak them in petroleum jelly, I'm sure most of you guys have already heard that, it'll help them to burn a lot longer. If I light this with a fire steel, it'll burn for, a minute at the most, but if I put Vaseline or petroleum jelly on it, that will prolong the burn of this and help me to get my kindling started a lot faster. Another costless, in a way, I would say that. I guess whenever you wash and dry your clothes and you get lint, that's your clothes wearing out. So it does cost you, but it's an unavoidable cost, I guess. Clean out your dryer trap and save that lint. I've got a huge bag full of dryer lint, and I just put it in these little peel bags and carry a couple of them with me, and that's enough for me in fair conditions to get a campfire started. Dryer lint lights fast. It works really well. These are actually cotton cosmetic pads, and I've just made a sandwich with Vaseline between them, so I have some Vaseline here with these cotton pads. I also keep military trioxane bars. These will light and will burn really hot and will burn for an extended period. This will definitely help you to get a fire going even in wet conditions. This is a good fire starter. There's a lot of natural fire starters that are available to you if you search for them. One good example of that is this birch bark. I actually have a river birch tree in my yard, so I keep, as this stuff peels off, I'll save it and put it in a Ziploc bag. And sometimes when I'm going camping or hiking, I'll carry a little bit of this with me. This stuff burns really well and is great for fire starting, and if you're lucky, you can find it out in the wilderness. Another thing that you can find is if you look at a lot of times like pine, where in my area we have a lot of pine trees, sometimes you can find stumps where this stuff has turned into fat wood or fat lighter, and this stuff burns. Just want to give you an idea about it. With a big lighter, you can see how this stuff burns. I mean, it just goes up and it burns hot, and it actually burns for some time and will definitely get you a good campfire going. Put that out before it gets going too much. So anyway, there's a lot of methods available to you. The main thing is just to pack up a kit of things that you feel comfortable using. It doesn't have to be complicated. Keep it in a waterproof pouch. Keep a couple of, like I said, a couple of different methods that you feel comfortable with. Don't depend on one. Never depend on one thing. You've heard the saying, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. And that's the same thing with your fire kit. So just some basic methods for those of you who haven't thought of this very much. Toss some ideas out there. Feel free to comment. I wish you guys always the best. God bless you. Take care.